Boom! Good evening again, everyone. Let me just remember to actually turn on the captioning. That's always useful to do for, people who need captions. Or even just people who like captions. I also never really noticed how square the Dyson sphere in their example here is. Anyway, that was the wrong button. Oh well, while we're here, wow, this has suddenly got really laggy since I started OBS. I can at least show off the Dyson sphere I have so far. And then, having realised I pressed the wrong button, we'll go back and try again, but we'll do it right this time. Load game, that game. Okay, let's also put my phone on to silent. I can't remember what we were doing other than just queuing up all of the research. Oh yeah, we had logistics now. And we were preparing for more logistics. Once we turn this into not red. Hate the Twitch mobile app as well. There we go. Also, I've been realising lately how much this mech looks like a weird cross between Bumblebee and Iron Man. That's not a very relevant point to anything, but yeah, you're welcome. So, okay, we're actually making particle containers. We should make photon combiners somewhere. That would be a good thing to do. Okay, yeah, that needs yellow, that needs yellow. I think, if I remember right, we more or less sorted everything we can from this side of the tree. Yeah. So, what else have we got? This needs yellow, this is already queued, this is already queued, this needs yellow, that's actually already queued, but the last one we actually want to do. Okay, that does look correct. Or at least as correct as it's going to get. So, what do we want to do? Let's go visit one of our planets. Oh yeah, I forgot we now have actual hydrogen fuel rods. Which is really good. I can't remember what our planets are. Hooray! Movement. Also really want to be able to harvest this gas giant. But okay, so we can definitely make circuits and some photon things there. And that one doesn't really have enough iron. Evening, Seth. I saw your tweet about your Anodyne Sharp remake. It's looking really good. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like I say, it makes your stuff look really good. But I can imagine it taking considerable effort, I'll put it that way. Mhm. Lack of item. I'm guessing this is we are full of magnets. What was I actually wanting? Gears and iron. It's always gears and iron. Oh. Yeah, I guess it's nice to, like, keep improving, but also, like, when do you stop, right? These drones are so slow. So what do we actually need for our next science? Oh, yeah, the titanium crystals. Can we make those already? Yes. But it needs organic crystals to make. I guess. Oh, this is actually already supplying circuits. Which means what we could actually do is something more like this. Circuits, demand, provide power. Get more iron. There. Yeah, are you planning on actually getting that released soon now, or have you still got a way to go? Given that I don't really know the source material at all. Right, okay. So, you still have a way to go. But, you know, that's still a hell of a lot of decent progress. So these want to make these. We want interstellar logistics, which means we're going to need to make 120 structure matrices. Now, diamonds are not too difficult to make. Titanium crystals, significantly more difficult to make. So, these things are going to be critical to us before too much longer, because you need them to make solar sails. And we also want... Or did we already set up crystal production somewhere? Or diamond production even? Or are we... Ah, we did. Excellent. We have 1 or 2 diamonds. This is a good start. Where are the logistics drones? There. The sky is alive with drones. Also kind of need more power. But not much more power, so we can probably fill it with wind turbines for now. If we can, I'd like to at least get towards deuterium power plants today. If we can get there, we can pretty much power everything on the planet for a while. Because we'll be able to also look to set up gas giant exploitation. Get the free deuterium. And that'll do us. Also want to do is this. And make sure we actually always keep at least some circuits handy in case we need them. Which does mean that we're suddenly going to slow down for a little bit, but that's alright, we can deal with it. I want to do the same over here, really. This ends up being like a weirdly large part of this game, just to try and make sure that you have enough of everything left in stores at the end of the day. Should also probably think about trying to set up logistics here, because this could supply graphite, demand, I'm guessing this is copper, yeah, demand copper and super mag rings, and get rid of all of this extra conveyor stuff. Is we could make this one supply copper. That's easy enough to do. Should also think about setting up overflow usage here. And you probably need to have an extractor there. Okay. So there's at least some stuff to think about for today. Can we fit a logistics station in here? Oh, actually, it's a really bad idea, isn't it? Up until we get some more power. Yeah, so a whole bunch of these aren't actually receiving any power. But once we can ship in some titanium, we can actually look to start making hydrogen fuel rods to run these, and then we'll suddenly get a lot more power. Meantime, I've forgotten again, is it 1 or 2? I think it's 1, isn't it? Yeah. Over there. Now, I've never tried flying directly into the sun, and I'm kind of curious what happens. You'd think, but I'm also not sure it's possible to die yet. I might just try at the end of the stream, just like save the game and go, okay. Right, where are all our buildings here? Yeah. We should have titanium here somewhere, right? Yes. Oh, no. Cancel that then. I actually made some titanium crystals already. Let's make some more. Yeah, so it has come off a closed beta, like at the end of January, but yeah, it's still very early access. They have an update planned for February, where they're going to add in some of the missing features like key rebinding. And I believe the next update after that is the one where they are planning to add enemies and like combat and stuff. So that's going to be interesting to deal with. Oh, stop orbiting away from me. Speed up, catch the planet. Where's organic crystal production? Over here. Oh. Possible I forgot we'd actually set up some sort of titanium crystal production already. No, transportation. So, if we were to realise that we don't have the resources we need again, might be able to set up some sort of preliminary hydrogen production facility. Make a break here. And we bridge like this. Ask this to make fuel rods. Yeah. It's just not producing fast enough. Okay, we are now at least producing fast enough to overflow one plant. Are going to need a lot more hydrogen though, or a lot more fuel cells. Let's do something really bizarre. This might actually allow all of the plants to actually kick-start again. But also give us the ability to start running off fuel rods. Yeah, so you can see that the fuel rods are taking a lot longer to be used up than raw hydrogen. So as we work down the line, we should start fixing our various power problems. Now all we need to do is try and actually make sure that we keep enough titanium loaded in here. Okay, it won't actually let us in queue that one yet. What do you need for solar panels? Oh yeah, like silicon and stuff. Mag coils, iron and gears. I might have accidentally pressed Control when I meant Shift. Okay, it's 613. Didn't even really need to do that. So, this is never going to be the most efficient way to generate power, but it will at least reliably generate power. This is another place where I now bemoan what I'm used to having in my other game. As anybody who's been in my Discord will be all too aware, I have started running everything in my other game off mini-suns. And it turns out the antimatter fuel rods you use for those create ridiculous amounts of power and last forever. It's like each mini-sun generates like 75 megawatts. And I've got one production plant for antimatter fuel rods, which is easily supplying 4 mini-suns. So it's pretty solid. Okay, it looks like we have finally started to produce more power than we need again. However briefly. We are actually going to have more use for those crystals later, but it's fine for now. Okay, good. We didn't actually... no, apparently we did set up the filters. That's going to confuse a lot of things. Although, you know what? Actually, gonna stop this second tower from producing red. Seems like it's time. Also seems like we're not actually getting diamonds, which I find highly suspicious. It keeps hiding the conveyor belts. Okay. So we're definitely putting the diamonds in. Just appear not to be transporting them anywhere. Okay, well, we do have some. I'll let them off. And now it's just waiting until we get the last 50-ish things in. There we go. You make yellow. And then maybe don't go there. What? Oh. Because I have to do that one first. Then that one. Then that one. Then that one. Though maybe not those last two just yet. That might be overkill. So many colourful cubes. There we go. And so, the science park gradually grows. Fueled entirely by drones. Yes, actually, once we've done those, what we should be looking to do is this. Yeah, and then we need purple for the next one. All the things we'll be able to do. Veins utilization is always nice to get early. I don't really care too much about the rest of that just yet. So the really important thing for me right now is trying to get these built. So yeah, we're going to need particle containers, and we're going to need the titanium ones. And that also needs titanium and particle containers. So many titanium what's-its. And yeah, so this is titanium, steel, sulfuric acid. But we have the capability to deal with this. So and the other advantage, of course, is that if we, or when we get the gas giant exploitation, we are just going to get free hydrogen and deuterium. So while deuterium on its own is no better than raw hydrogen, what that will ultimately allow us to do is make deuterium fuel rods. And that is a very important thing. Because once we get deuterium fuel rods, yeah, so 600 megajoules plus 300%. And this is 40 megajoules at plus 200%. So, yeah. You're looking at 15 times the power output. It does mean that you need mini fusion power stations instead of thermal power stations, but you know, that's something else we can deal with. That's not too much of a problem. There's also... Actually, do we have the fractioning thing already? I can't remember where you get that. Oh, yeah, that's to make wider range power distribution, so you don't need as many pylon things. Don't really care about Casimir crystals just yet, although we will do eventually. Particle control, yeah, it gives you particle broadband. Oh yeah, there you go, deuterium fractionation. So we could build fractionators already, but that doesn't really help inherently. So hydrogen plus 108 megajoules, deuterium, yeah, plus 108 megajoules. I've heard that, Dortea, yeah. I can't say I've ever actually had the courage to try it. And you say it's a joke, it sounds like a reasonable thing to try to me, but maybe that's just me being weird. Boom. Probably. I'm used to being weird. It's kind of my thing. It's been a long day today. Okay, so these are not producing purely because there's too much fuel on the line, but we should be able to fix that. And then everything produces more hydrogen again, and that's a good thing. And we occasionally sneak in some bonus fuel rods. Cannot make in replicator. So we do need steel, sulfuric acid, other thing. So we want these to make these. The only thing we are still going to need to work out is how do we get the steel in here? You're going to need a power... oh no, you're okay. Fine. Leave you to it. The answer might actually just be that we want to demand steel in here. Why do I keep putting those in stupid places? Okay, so now all we actually need to do is supply steel. I do also really just enjoy how chill this whole soundtrack is. Kind of makes me regret not buying the soundtrack as well. Supply steel. Power the tower. Wait for drones to come and steal steel. What's it going to get to? 125, I guess? No? Is it just never going to do the steel? Guess we need to make more drones. Okay, they are actually planning to do something. Oh, yeah, it's probably because so many of them are already busy doing other stuff. But getting some steel is a good start. Steel means we can start stockpiling some of these, which is going to be an integral part of the next step of this. Because then we can also, what we'll actually end up doing is we'll just upgrade this logistics station to the next logistics station, which gives it 2 more slots as well, but it means we can then ship the titanium in directly. Also helps if I actually tell it to output the steel, really, doesn't it? I promise I actually do know how to play this game. There we go. So now we're only 80 yellow science away from being able to start building planetary logistics or interplanetary logistics stations. And then we're going to want to start thinking about this. We might genuinely want to actually build an energy exchanger, because it's a lot easier than waiting for 20 accumulators to charge. But with this then supplying us the extra hydrogen and deuterium, we should be able to do some good stuff. So, what text do we actually want is the next question. We're going to need this if we want to start making deuterium stuff. This is going to be the easiest way to get the deuterium, I think. So maybe we try and set this up first. So it's going to be 1320, 1470, 1720 yellow science. That's a lot of science. A lot of it is just for this one. Sprawling mess of industrialization that is all of this. Well, while we're waiting, let's go place some more wind turbines, because that seems to be how we make power now. Squeeze one in there. Okay. Temporarily fixed our power again. Doing pretty well at stockpiling all of this stuff and all. Whoops. We definitely need to get antimatter. We aren't even going to be using these towers for a while, but it will prepare us a little bit for when we get purple and green science. quite a lot of these things as well now, which is good news. We'll be able to make a lot of solar sails. I'm a little reluctant to make solar sails now because they do not last very long. I don't know if it tells us actually how long they last by default. Okay, 1800 seconds. That seems like a lot longer than they actually last. So what, 30 minutes? But each one of these adds a few minutes longer. And then you get to the end and you've added in total, what was that, 3, 6, 9, 1800. So yeah, it doubles their lifespan. They still expire, which is irritating. But once you get to this, and actually this, what that will allow us to do is actually start building the Dyson sphere. And once you've got solar sails locked into the sphere structure, they are persistent. And you can start generating power with a ray receiver. And then you get this research down here, and find yourself in a position where instead of receiving power from the Dyson sphere, you just receive the raw photons, convert all of the photons into antimatter fuel rods, and power everything forever. No, I think we want to be going that way. Probably. Yeah, those things are becoming wildly impractical. So, let's forget that for now. We are getting very close to our upgrade. Let's make sure we have what we need on hand. Particle things, titanium whatsits, processors. Oh no, we did get reinforced thruster. EM turbines. All of these are the very technical names for them, by the way. Particle whatsits, important part of the research tree. Definitely needs to be fixed because we need to make sure that we keep a number of these in. Okay, that was just really useless. What am I doing? That. Right, how many EM turbines did we need? We need 2 thrusters per logistics vessel. And we need 5 turbines per thruster, 10 turbines per vessel. Four vessels does seem like a reasonable starting point. Yeah, would help if I'd actually picked those up. Conveniently, we can already make 2 of these. I don't think the actual ground footprint is any bigger from memory. Hopefully I'm correct. Otherwise this is going to be awkward. So we want steel out, titanium crystals and diamonds in. And it looks like I might have made a colossal mistake and accidentally destroyed a whole bunch of drones.
You have established an interstellar logistics station and opened the first node of logistics transportation among the planets. With it, no need to transport cargo between planets manually anymore. Just set to remote supply in the site on the raw material supply planet. The logistics vessel will bring the cargo to the other planets with corresponding remote demand sites accordingly. Setting local supply and demand can also inherit the functions of ordinary logistics station at the same time.
Yeah, these things are really useful, in case that wasn't clear yet. So what's... steel? No. Oh yeah, it's probably just not enough copper to do all of that. Boom. But now... we can go and set up remote logistics on our other planet, ship titanium back to ourselves. And in fact, what I'm even going to do is modify this slightly. Because what we can also do is set the interstellar station up to remote demand magnetic rings, but local supply them. Which means we can ship them in from the other planet and then automatically send them on to the research station. We don't need a second interstellar station to do that. So if I do this... and we also want to find... I've just sorted them somewhere there. You see all of the little logistics ships. Hiding up along the edges there. Okay. We can at least now get some drones working here again. Okay. Now, how do we get this conveyor belt over here? That looks like it works. More or less. You have a little bit of power left still. Admittedly not a lot. But we can at least go set up the other logistics station. So what do we want to ship in? We wanted to ship in titanium ingots and electromagnetic coils. Oh no, just magnetic coils. We are well on our way to a fully functional production system for Dyson sphere components. Also just realised that we've actually doubled our energy in the mech. So we have a lot more energy than it looks like we have right now. I think we slightly more than doubled it, in fact. Gotta love headbutting the planet. And then trying to remember where the charging station is. Yeah, we can ship processors as well. So titanium, processors, magnetic coils are our sort of priority things at the moment, I guess. Titanium, processors, magnetic coils. It does take a while to charge the mech now. At least it does from just towers. There we go. Kind of not surprised that we've just browned out the whole planet, though. Yeah, okay. It's slowly coming back under control. It's fine. At least we're down from like the 200 and something percent to some much more reasonable figure. What am I even trying to do now? This. It looks like we might need to revisit our microcrystalline components production as well. We don't seem to be producing enough to properly operate the processor factory. That should do for now. So I'm guessing at least one of these has run out of stuff. No? Then that's because it needs 2 to 1. Oh. That's because I built that to work the wrong way round. Kind of no wonder, really, that it's not quite working right. You ever just suddenly realise what a complete scrub you are? I do. Okay, that should help. Then we were okay for a bit. We produced enough processors, but still. That was annoying. Now let's brown out the grid by recharging the mech, and then we can go home. And stop lying. Core energy will not deplete soon. So the other advantage is now we're actually shipping titanium in. We can actually set up hydrogen rod production. Hey look, there's all the logistics vessels. And you can tell which way they're going because they'll either say logistics vessel if they're empty, or what resource they're carrying. Although, that seems to say magnetic coil, but going the wrong way. Oh, no. That's because we're actually going faster than it is. That would explain a lot. Oh, for some reason I thought we were still just carrying some loose hydrogen. Apparently not. It was just titanium and hydrogen, isn't it? Yeah. Does this make at least 5 times as much? That makes 40. And hydrogen makes 8. Okay, but it's more efficient as a fuel source than raw hydrogen is. I might fill in this area here and think about using that for the fuel rod production. Make fuel rods. Can't refuel yet. Stop telling us. We are at least slowly stockpiling EM turbines. This is a good thing. Yeah, so graphite, still not the best fuel, but it's good enough to get us going again. So all we really want to do now is try to actually set up this titanium business. Okay, so titanium, going to come down here, fill this in, and once that's happening, we start to just produce titanium, not titanium fuel rods, hydrogen fuel rods. Hydrogen fuel rods give us a more efficient way to fuel our power plants, and our power plants get everything running again. That's the plan. And then everything goes quiet. And okay, music's back. Everything's fine. Yeah, so we are currently at least producing these fuel rods easily fast enough for a few of these. And as each one fills up, we'll start filling up the next one and improving our power again. So, it's not the end of the world, things are getting better. Probably. I'm not sure if this is lack of science or I don't want all of these things to speed up. But yeah, we can't do that one. Yeah, I don't know if the research hold up is lack of power or lack of science. One of the two. We are, however, inching our way ever closer to being able to power everything. And it looks like we have at least a good balance as far as hydrogen is concerned. Which is something. It's actually not doing badly for... So it's powering up 9 at the moment. Which is almost enough to actually get us back to supplying sufficient power. Despite the additional power draw of things like an interstellar logistics station. The veins utilization research will be handy for just producing stuff faster. Things like titanium we're fine on. Bubble, bubble, bubble. We might actually even be slightly underproducing hydrogen, which isn't ideal. Although, we're still producing enough. Might need the sorter stacking tech. Oh, that only ever uses yellow? Interesting. Yeah, so the efficiency advantage that this gives us is that we should be able to power about twice as much with the fuel rods as with raw hydrogen. So you can see it's actually already managed to fill up all of these first power plants. And we're starting to work our way right down here. So with just a little bit of luck, this is going to be enough for us to keep everything going. Also thinking that we might need to consider some additional fuel refineries. Which will be good, because that will increase our hydrogen production as well. But, yeah... And once we've got power properly sorted out again, then we can go check on what's holding up our research. I kinda suspect might be related. Okay. Looks like they are actually shipping the magnetic coils, magnetic rings, whatever, out to the research centre. Which is fine. It's just a bit confusing how it labels everything. Oops. Research speed too slow. We kind of worked that one out already. It looks, at least in part, like it might be related to not producing enough of these crystal wasp names. But that's another thing that we can work on optimizing now we've started to get some proper logistics in place to deal with these things, we can start rearranging stuff and sorting it all out. Because I suspect that's going to end up being the bottleneck for a little while until we solidify the production. What's it? Oh yeah, they need organic crystals. And we don't have a nice way of getting organic crystals. Yeah, fuel, water, plastic. Which requires just a whole load of stuff. Could also do with increasing graphene production some more. That is something we can work on. For example, we can probably try and do something along these lines. Sneak that in there. Also, I said graphene again and I meant graphite. I'm glad Lottie's not here. They're usually the person who picks me up on making nonsense statements like that. Oh, we actually do have motors. So we could, in fact, do this. Save ourselves a whole bunch of time. And then completely forget what we were actually doing over here. Oh no, I remember. This is a sign of how long a day it's been and that I really need to go to bed. So this wants to be hydrogen out, and that wants to be hydrogen in. No, I don't want to set the filter. I want to open the recipes here and set up some more cracking. The one really nice feature I've found is that if you just drag-click to erase conveyor belts, it will actually stick to only the conveyor belt you started on. Which is just such a really nice, like, tiny quality of life thing. Because I was really nervous about, like, deleting conveyor belts at first in particularly complicated areas. But, yeah, it's very solid. That's fine. It's just that what we want to do is this, because we're going to need space to do this and also this. That adds a little bit more graphite production and coincidental hydrogen production. Oh hey, we are actually producing enough stuff again, enough power. I know what words mean. So this is just because I want to increase, ideally, how much hydrogen we can get to the fuel rod generation area. Because at the moment, I think the real bottleneck is that we just can't ship enough hydrogen onto this conveyor belt. So, if we start upgrading the conveyor belt, we might be able to change that. Nope. I really do look forward to the one-click upgrading they're promising in the patch. Or the update. It's not really a patch, it's I guess it's technically a patch, except that patch is kind of a dirty word these days. And this is genuinely a planned update. Anyway, one-click upgrade. That's the thing to take away from that. It's none of this, you have to either do it this horrible piecemeal way, or rip everything up and replace it all. I'm also not entirely sure doing it this piecemeal way is technically supported. It's just kind of accidentally how it works. Yeah, okay. We also need to load more onto the belt. What we want is exactly this to happen. Because then we go find some iron. Because first of all, we start doing that just to use up some inventory stuff. And then we look to make more assemblers. Connect more assemblers up to this. So have we Okay, so we're not quite powering all of them. But though just those first few assemblers making fuel rods is enough to power that much reliably. So you can see we are building a fairly consistent power grid at this point. Yeah, we're not actually going to fit 5 in, but that's somewhat to be expected, I think. No, I'm sure I pressed down. Hang on. There we go. So much fuel. With a little bit of luck, this is actually now going to start to be enough that it'll keep all of these fueled. And what we can then do is put some storage at the end of it. Thus. And hope that what ends up happening is we start to fill up this storage. Okay, that one's now full, which means we are definitely going to start filling up more of them. Which should bring us back down to under 100% power load. So each one of these is taking a few percent off. So we may be able to take off as much as like another 10-15% if we can power all of these. Which would be solid. I will be honest. So we're just gonna like bury all of that coal. And then we can also reroute this. It doesn't make a huge difference, but it means that, for example, if we find we're easily filling all of this with fuel to spare, we can actually fit in some more power plants as well. It does actually look quite promising if we look at how much fuel is coming down the line now. So we can come back and check on that in a little bit. I'm guessing it's probably yellow science is... Oh, so yellow science is working, but it's a bit slow. And the way we're going to fix that... I forgot we're actually making silicon here. So if we ever do need silicon for stuff, we can deal with it. So, what we need to do is enhance production of these crystally whatsits. Again, very technical, accurate names. Only correct names on this stream. Definitely no completely made up nonsense. Is that all it is? Yes. Excellent. Also helps if you get your conveyors the right way round. It's been a while since I've messed that up, to be fair. I think I'm doing well at correct conveyor belt construction lately. lack of item. Don't really want to use like Mark III on the end of that. That just seems like a waste. So also helps if you actually, you know, make the things. Okay, so that's at least going to provide those crystals faster than we were before. Still not going to be ideal, but, you know, we can probably further expand it, honestly. It looks like we're stockpiling all the resources enough. But we'll leave it a bit, we'll see how it goes. Still, it is a decent start. And we fixed this, so this isn't needing to provide... Yeah, you see, this is a much healthier conveyor belt now. And all of these are running properly again. Which is going to help us stockpile these. And once that's done, we go back to making supermagnetic rings and... Oh, yeah, okay, these. But we've got a billion of them now. So, that I think has been fairly productive. We've greatly improved our logistics. We've now got interplanetary logistics, although we're not shipping in processors yet. Did we need processors yet? I don't think we actually needed them even, did we? So that's probably okay. And when we do, we can just, you know, build a second interplanetary logistics station. Or interstellar logistics, whatever it's called. Ship in the processors where we need them. Yeah, we seem to be doing pretty well here. We could make solar sails, but we'd also need a rail ejector, which, yeah, okay, we could make, but like I said before, it kind of is irrelevant at this point. Probably not going to bother with fractionators on this one, because they can be fun, but they're not efficient. So, probably not worth it. Could actually start making some of these. We definitely do have spare power. So with some more iron again, because you always need more iron. Because you can't make those in the replicator. The whole... But that's fine. We can work around that temporarily by just setting up an ad hoc assembler to make them for us. Assuming that's the right thing even. It is not. Would have helped if I'd checked that, really. Smelter? Yeah. Doo-doo-doo. It's now just a case of, like, set up the smallest possible unit. Damn it. The smallest possible unit of automation. What were we building? Accumulators. So these will also give us some insurance against accidental brownouts in the future. Theoretically, you can actually just use the energy exchanger. It's going to take forever to do those. So what you're supposed to do, really, is build one of these, and then you load accumulators into it, and it charges them for you. I think, yeah, this probably needs to be our priority, followed by this, which is going to require that. So this is the difficult one that we're going to need to do. But once we've got it, we can set up an even better system of fuel generation. Hey, we have actually started to... we've started to stockpile quite a lot of hydrogen fuel rods. Not that I am complaining in any way. That was, yeah, a somewhat unexpected turn of events, honestly. And still, like, easily producing enough stuff. So that's good. That's going to keep us going for a little bit. We've got a bunch of accumulators now. Yeah, okay. And then iron is going to be the next problem again. Oh, and these. This is also just a little bit of preparation, so it will take a lot longer than trying to charge them with the energy exchanger. But what we can do when we get the gas giant exploitation is we can just rip these up to get the full accumulators that it needs to start going. and once you get them going, they are self-perpetuating. The hydrogen they harvest, they first of all use to fuel themselves, and having done that, they will ship any back if you've asked for it. They are also now starting to run out of hydrogen, which is disconcerting. Probably easier to start at this end and okay. These ones should pretty much always be fine because they're putting things onto an always empty belt. It's just when you get to around here and they've started to fill up the belt enough that everything apparently just backs up completely, and you start finding that you need to speed up more stuff, I guess. Probably not so bad by the time it gets to this point, unless we're actually producing enough of the refined stuff that we're completely overloading all the refineries. Which is disturbingly plausible. It might also just be the backup that's caused by the building work. And possibly also by the rejoin down here. Getting too close. That was a nonsense sentence, wasn't it? There we go. So that'll handle the remerge at the end better. Let's just take a bunch of stuff off here to help deal with everything. Now it looks like things are at least temporarily balancing a little bit better. that's looking more like it. Okay. So hopefully that allows us to start producing more hydrogen again. It is at least slowly making its way back to this last assembler. Which is, I would say, a good thing. But yeah, we can kind of see the problem here is we actually managed to stop producing it to the point where we're just not loading in fast enough. Which is also a bit disappointing because it means we're going to be lacking production of blue science, but again, once we get to gas giant exploitation, we can start fixing the hydrogen issue. We've picked up a little bit of hydrogen. We might be able to help it out. So everything there is running, and everything there is running. And everything there is running. So it looks like we have every refinery now successfully in continuous operation, which you'd think would be generating quite a lot of hydrogen, but not enough apparently. Yeah, it's still enough that we are at least stockpiling, which is the main thing. As long as we're still stockpiling these fuel rods, I think we can be pretty happy. Let's forget that you see the logistics ships on the star map as well. It's kind of cute. There's titanium, copper and stone, which is almost useless. So we're probably going to need to actually look at unlocking the warp technologies. And then going to some other planet, or not just other planets, but other star systems to get resources from them. So, what I am going to definitely do, though, is save the game. Because I've not manually saved in a while, and we've all seen how bad I am at managing this. So, let's just have a quick look at science. Oh, it's not blue science that fails, it's red science that fails for hydrogen. Okay, that is something we're going to need to fix. But that, I think, is going to be the job for next stream, is increase hydrogen production and get this gas giant exploitation tech sorted. Because, yeah, we're just going to run out of red science on this one. So, that is going to be that one for tonight. I hope this whole loading screen bit is still inspirational for everyone. We will get there and construct an actual Dyson sphere. But the next episode is going to have to wait a little bit because it's a school night and I still have to be up early for work. So I will say, as ever, thank you for joining me, and I will catch you next time. Bye for now.